Hey, a couple other things I should probably mention too, given what I was just saying about the dynamic nature of reality in classical Chinese thought in general and in classical Confucian thought in particular, and its non-archic, its anarchic nature. Now you know where the word comes from, right? It's groundlessness. Um, the first thing is that when you look at the Analects and you read through them, you have to keep in mind that this is a it's a little like stepping into a conversation and trying to get a bunch of inside jokes. What you've got here is a situation where Confucius has had these conversations with his students, and it was in these conversations that certain ideas, by virtue of their relationships, by virtue of that resonance that occurs between them, that way in which they stand in relation to one another, that insights emerge, literally resonate. I mean, it's a bit, there's, I guess, a couple of examples that you can probably make with regard to this is to think about the way in which different sounds are put together in a symphony to make music. Each sound is just what it is. It has its pitch, its tenor, its resonance. But it's the way in which it resonates and stands in relation to the other sounds that it comes to be music. Well, so it is with each of these points of views. It's not like any one holds truth, holds insight just on its own. It comes to be wise. It comes to be philosophical. It comes to reveal something about the nature of ethical life, about the nature of self-identity, about the nature of understanding, indeed about the nature, sometimes, not always, but sometimes in Confucianism, about the nature of the cosmos, by virtue of the way in which it's done. So that's one of the things you have to look at when you look at these little snippets of conversation that are occurring, right? Is the way in which the conversation is done, the way in which each of the characters stand in relation to one another, and their identities, their insights, their minds emerge by virtue of that conversation. It's a little tricky because we're looking at it very much as from an abstract point of view, from outside, but it is what it is. It is something that we participate in, and indeed we are part of the conversation by virtue of reading about it and thinking about it in this particular way. The other example I was going to give with this too, it's one I get from I've gotten from different people, is to compare it to cooking. You know, you think about the nature and character of how it is that you cook, especially like cooking like a soup, right? Each of these flavors, they've got their own flavor and they've got a certain quality to them. But what makes the soup is the way in which flavors augment or diminish one another, right? Well, so it is here in terms of the conversation between Confucius and his students. What makes them who they are, what allows the ren, the humaneness, the authoritative conduct, them fully being what they are. What we might say in ordinary English, what gives them their deepest sense of self-realization, maybe even their freedom, is the way in which they augment one another, like the flavors in the soups, right? They have to be a certain way. You are what you are from a Confucian point of view, not just by holding your own, by possessing your own autonomy, by discovering something inside of yourself and then going out in the world and doing it. You are what you are by virtue of your capacity to be and to do right in relation to others. From that, identity emerges. That's what you're seeing right here. That's what you're seeing in the Analects. The emergence of identity, the emergence of personhood, literally, in terms of this. So when you read through this, don't just take this as a bunch of moral lessons that seem like they came out of a bunch of fortune cookies, as one student once told me. That's not the way to do it. What you're seeing is the emergence of characters. What you're seeing, and this really is the second point I want to get to, is a study in the possibilities of human possibility itself. How can we, what can we be as persons in relation to one another in our conversations, in the way we act? This is what you should be looking for within the Analects. These are examples of ways in which to be. And I don't just mean examples in the sense of high and mighty and benevolent and supreme examples. There's examples of what it means to fail, what it means to get something half right and half wrong, what it means to miss the mark, what it means to be mediocre, what it means to have these different characteristics in the sea and swirl of human life generally come out, right? And find expression in these relationships. That's what you're looking at here. So, what are the points? First of all, realize we're looking not at a collection of insights. We're looking at insights within a conversation, or really within a long series of conversations that we have to participate in, bring our intellectual imagination into, and try to see. And the second thing, what we're really seeing in this, I think, is a study in the deep nature of human possibility. But you have to, in order to get to that, you have to begin to think about it in terms of the nature of relationships generally, this fundamentally relational, dynamic character of the world of classical Chinese thought. So there you go. All right, more later.